guys, it's me again, Ruowen Huang. Guess what people do when they're sick? They watch movies. Anyway, second episode, we're going to talk about a little bit about the movie Arrival, but only a little bit, not so much. But anyway, before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. This episode, I want to quickly talk about parallel universe. I don't know if many of you have concept of parallel universe. When I was kids, I'm talking about kids, like when I was probably 10, somewhere around there. I think that's the very first time people introduced parallel universe to me, right? You see, in Taiwan, we got introduced big word in very young age. Parallel universe is one of them. When I was about 10 years old, somebody told me parallel universe, that means a world that's living at the same time as you. So that time they let me believe whatever I do is going to impact another person in the other dimension. Obviously, the parallel universe, that is also me. So, you know, in my little head, I really have problem dealing with this concept because I don't quite understand. Like what does that matter? So if I'm good, they're bad. I'm bad, they're good. You know, they make me believe it's gonna be reversed. If I'm happy, they're gonna be sad. If I'm sad, I'm gonna be happy. So as you can only imagine, my world is, you know, very puzzled by all kind of questions because I simply did not understand. But that's my very first concept of parallel universe. That is, you know, there are someone using exactly the same identity as me, living a world that I got no idea of, but somehow somewhat very connected to me. As I start to grow a little bit older, I have idea of parallel universe of whatever I'm doing have a possibility. We all gone through the life. There's a possibility. What if I choose that? What if I choose that? So at that time, people introduced parallel universe to me as those alternative choice that I did not choose for my life is still continue going on as the world itself. It's obviously, you know, me being someone else living in other choice if I would have choose that choice that time. You know what I mean? As you can see, it's still very, very confused to me because, you know, but why? You know, but why? Why is someone living my life for me? I choose this and I have a reason to choose this, right? So again, I still couldn't figure out what the heck the parallel universe really is. And as I get a little bit older, closer to now, I got introduced parallel universe through different way. Parallel universe is a person who live in the same, let's say, different dimension, different time frame, and then they create the same future or something, or they alter the future or something like that. As you can see, I realize when people kind of have a concept but not fully got a concept, when they introduce things, there's always a lot of puzzling along the way, don't you? I mean, I do. I mean, I kind of get it but not quite get it. Right? It's through a lot of experiment I have. You know, my psychic journey, I got very often bring to the past, I got bring to the future, I got bring to, you know, present, I got bring to different dimension, different, you know, universe or different things. So I travel a lot. You know, I travel a lot in spirit journey, my spirit journey, and it's through a lot of thing which I will share with you guys later on. I don't know when, but later on, I start to discover something. Then I will share with you guys. When you travel to the past, that's really little you can change. You know, I used to believe when I travel to the past, I am more like an observer. There's not, you know, there's so little I can influence because once past histories already happened. I mean, if you ever travel to the past, you ever do any impact or things like that, universe have a force that will eventually bring it back anyway. But aside from that, not like you can be an actual form to make any actual damage, right? So I visit many of my clients' past. I've been to their past life, not just in their past, but past life or whatever life like this. I've been to my own one and realize how little I can change, right? On the other hand, when I go to the future, many of people's future, I realize there's so many possibilities. I mean, anything can happen since it hasn't happened. The thing to validate it is when I'm consulting with a client, as the moment their attitude starts changing, the future that I saw since they first said change as well. That's how I realize how our future is changed all the time, depends on our mindset. I mean, if our mindset go down like negative, for example, thanks to whatever skill my higher spirit give it to me, I almost see a real-time change of that person's future. So that's how I, spend another 5 years into it and realize how our future is always changing, right? So now I'm just roughly throwing you a little bit concept of what I got encounter or what I know about parallel universe. Now I'm gonna bring you back to the movie Arrival. Tell you, I watch a lot of movie when I'm sick. In Arrival, they introduce one thing, one concept, not that everything makes sense to me, but one concept that I have many of you bring it to me and ask me question. That is called time dimension. I already tell you, time dimension is not a linear. It's not like, oh, once you pass, you couldn't do anything about it, or in the future, it's not linear shape. It's actually more in dimension shape. Sure enough, when I talk about it, not many of you understand what does that mean. So they want to know, is it same as what Arrival is presenting to you? Time is dimensional. It's not linear. My answer to it is yes. So of course, based on this question, there have more questions. So one of you bring up a question to me, and I'm gonna answer it. One of you say like, oh, I mentioned before there's so little you can change in the past. So based on her understanding of parallel universe, that means everything, or she think everything is happen at the same time. That means when I'm living right now, I and whoever is in couple 100,000 years ago is living at the same time, and meanwhile people who is in the future is living at the same time. If we are doing this, we all work together, how can we possibly change the outcome of the future? Here, I'm going to explain this to you. We could impact a lot of things. That means your understanding of we all walk the same time is really not what parallel universe mean. Parallel universe is whatever decision you make is going to impact everything in the future. That if you understand. So I'm going to make it very simple to you. I already talked about this on the blog. I already talked about this on the blog. So I'm just trying to refresh my memory here. If you understand very simple concept, whatever happened in the past will impact who you are today. That is simple concept, right? So then you will understand whoever you are will impact the future you. That you get it, right? So in our education, we let you know that's a solid rule, the golden rule. That means whatever happened in the past gonna shape who I am, and whoever I am gonna shape my future. There's no way this way. That means because we believe the time is linear, right? We can only go that way. We cannot go this way, right? What I try to say is what you do not know. Through my psychic experience, I can confidently tell you, when you become a very powerful and a strong soul, you then have power to heal your past. You know what I mean? So if you don't understand that, let me give you an example. Like if your past have a child, you that's encounter trauma or things like that. Now, who I am, maybe 20, 30 years later, I become a strong soul, right? All of a sudden, I'm able to heal that inner child of me and say, you know what? It's okay. Whatever we've gone through in the past is to shape who we are today, is to bring me where I am today. So at that moment, you actually having a conversation with your inner child, you then heal who you are today. What you did not know is you actually went to your past, heal your past, and then when that past got healed, you yourself got healed. When you yourself got healed, your future you also got healed. So what people do not know is when you become a strong soul, you then able to go to the past and heal your wounded child or wounded soul. But what you do not know is not only in this life, whatever you are, you become a strong person and strong soul. You are able to heal your own soul way past this life. That means in whatever life you have encountered trauma, like trauma embedded in you so badly, like you might still have it, such mean you might still afraid of height, even though you've never been traumatized by height, or you might still be afraid of, a dark room, though you are never being traumatized in a dark room, or you being afraid to be left alone, though you have no collective, memory of you have ever been left alone before. You know what I mean? So somehow, somewhere, as you becoming a strong soul, you then heal yourself beyond time. You will be able to go past through time, even no matter a couple thousand years ago, a million years ago. You're able to heal that wound, and then somehow, some way, indirecting healing yourself, somehow, some way, impact your future as well. So the best way I can ever describe it, the best way I can ever describe to you about parallel universe and the time dimension is, time dimension is like a spider web. Your past is more like the spider web that's already been weaved. It's already been weaved. We live in a society tell you, oh, the spider web is weaving this way, so I automatically have to go that way, right? What I'm saying is, no, it doesn't have to go that way. Your past represent the spider web that's already been weaved. Your present that is now represent the spider that is weaving the web, right? So that's your present. Your future represent the web that hasn't been weaved yet. You know what I mean? So now you have to see, however this spider web's gonna look like. It can look like an ordinary spider web, or you can look like a masterpiece, or you can even look like a 3D dimension spider web. I don't care. However this web is gonna look like depends on who? Depends on you. The spider that is weaving the web. And however how time dimension work. Time dimension work is, you can imagine spider web. However you move each net or cut each line is going to influence what your future is gonna look like. So therefore, we exist at the same time. You know what I mean? So I understand this is gonna be a concept I'm gonna talk forever to really get you guys understanding. I believe before then, I had to talk about so many other things for the picture to finally make sense. But here, I'm just simply wanna introducing a very simple concept for you. How time dimension is not linear shape. It's more, we are existing at the same time, like a spider web. However you decided to impact in any thought, it's gonna influence the outcome of your future, right? That is called the masterpiece of the spider web. So the web that is not being weaved yet. So if you understand that, instead of letting the web decided where the spider should go, right? That's how most of us does. our past shaped this way, therefore I can only live in this spider web and doing this. What I'm here to suggest to you is, if you observe the nature, you would know that sentence simply does not make sense. It's not right, because who decide what the spider web's gonna look like? It's the spider. That is you, a present you. You decided how the spider web's gonna look like, or whether it's gonna become a masterpiece or not, because all your future is unweaved yet. You are not weaving yet. Yes, in the past, you might already have something, but we all know, any artists know, we build some form, we do a sculpture, and then as we go along the way, some idea coming, some better idea coming, and we want to change something. It's not a problem for us to go to the past and shape it, or sometimes even cut it or remove it. It's the same idea I'm here to present to you guys. Parallel universe is very simple. We all exist at the same time. That means who I am today exists the same as whoever I was thousands of years ago, and whoever I'm going to become in the future. Later on, I will come back and hopefully talk about detail about how parallel universe really work. But for now, I'm just throwing you a quick idea in order for you to understand the time dimension. Time dimension is very simple. It's not linear way. Linear like you can only go this way. No, is this more like a multi-dimensional way, right? However you move a dot is gonna impact whatever dot there is on the web. So, just an idea for you guys to think about. Think about what you would like, Get your brain exercise a little bit. So maybe later on it will help me to explain something more to you guys. So again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel, or go to my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!